City 3, Chelsea 1. Well, let's go back to the studio and we can hear the thoughts of Andre-Flo, of Peter Reid and Kel Spellman.
Full time at the Etihad Stadium. We're bringing you live pictures from the pitch here, and it is finished. Manchester City 3, Chelsea 1. That win as well does move City back into the top 4 on goal difference. What a game of football, end to end, as we discussed here in the studio. Phil Foden there with a former Manchester City player there, Jadon Sancho, goal scorer there as well. Erling Haaland with the assist as well. Tory, not the result, of course, for Chelsea, but a great game of football nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a good game. I thought it was a well-deserved win by City. They created the most chances, and I thought maybe Chelsea would be a little bit deeper in that second half. I think they were a bit too high, and when you have strikers like this man, then it's dangerous to keep the space in behind you, and eventually he took advantage of that.
They did indeed, Peter, and I mean we can see some lovely shots. Obviously, came through the academy, now flourishing there at Chelsea, and a lot of kind of respect and admiration from Pep Tuchel there. It was great. Thankfully, Manchester City kept him fairly quiet today. He's still very much, was so dangerous. But how important was that win, and how good of a win was it in your opinion, Peter?
I think we said before the game, it's a must-win for both football clubs, and Manchester City thoroughly deserved it. I agree with Torre there, better team, and we said there'd be more goals second half. The high line, and if you got Haaland, I mean, brilliance for the second goal, and then there's quality. Putting Foden in for the third goal was absolutely outstanding. But City, they blooded 2 young players who they brought. They've got Premier League action there, and both of them, a mistake early on for Kusanov,
yeah.
who got over that. But Mamouche looks a great prospect. I was very, very impressed with them, and it's a good evening for Manchester City.
It really is, and there was Phil Foden there. We just saw before we saw the pictures of Cole and Pep. I mean, some good stats here now for Foden. 6 goals and assists in his last 4 Premier League games, and we know how important he is for City. I mean, he was Premier League Player of the Season last year, starting to come into that form now that he's almost replicating where he was at last season, which is good news for City.
Yes, I think he's a brilliant player. He's quick, and he's now starting to score goals again, playing better and better. Very important player for City, I think. And if they got him back to his best, then City will be difficult to beat. I do feel when you look at these 2 clubs that City is quite a bit ahead of Chelsea at the moment, especially for what I've seen Chelsea in the last month or 2. So I think there is a bit of a gap still that Chelsea needs to close.
Yeah. I guess though, but and Enzo's been so good, at kind of saying that this is a project they're building. I think you've also got, by an average age, youngest team in the Premier League. So they're very much building something, and I guess actually what is exciting is from glimpses we've seen. What is to come is really exciting for Chelsea fans.
Yeah, it's been at least a few. Some of the games have been really, really good, but Chelsea needs to be top 4 in my opinion, and they're not at the moment, and they need to improve. I don't think this was a particularly good game from Chelsea. I was hoping and expecting maybe a bit more. As I said, it was a well-deserved win, and if you're going to stay at the top 4, you need to put more pressure on the oppositions. But then again, City looks to get better and better, and to come here and get points is hard for everyone, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, would we? Sorry, Peter, go on. If you wanted to.
I just think from Chelsea's point of view, they have got a young side. Sometimes it's getting that balance between that experience and the youngsters to help them out there on the pitch. I understand they're going to get experience by playing Premier League games, but sometimes out on the pitch itself, they need that old, and I think at half-time we said, if they keep this high line, they're going to pay the price.
Yeah.
And I understand Enzo doing that to try and stop City having the ball and a deep line. But, a low block as they call it now. But, you can't afford to do that when Erling Haaland's about.
No.
Because if you stick anything over the top with his pace and power, inevitably he's going to stick it in the net.
Yeah, and that's where the goal came from. Well, I mean,
Yes, yeah.
it was a beautiful thing. But talking us through, I mean, it was the ball over the top. I think Haaland did really well, and then I mean, it was a lovely finish. But Sanchez out of his net a little bit.
Yeah, no, Haaland did really well, strong.
Yeah.
But I think we saw it throughout the whole game, especially like during the first half as well. They left that room behind them, Chelsea, and the strikers looked more and more to exploit that room in there. And you could see City's player in midfield turning up, looking for that pass. And eventually, I had a feeling it will come.
Yeah.
It will come, and it came not only once but 2 and 3 times. It was risky by Chelsea. I can see the reason behind it, but I think the players they played against are too clever to stick with that throughout the whole game.
I can see it, but sometimes it's just not on.
Yeah.
It's just not on. Sometimes you got to have a football brain. I need to drop here.
Yeah.
I mean, the third goal when De Bruyne's got the head on, Haaland's got the ball. The defender, is going to wrestle a match.
Yeah.
Sometimes just let him have it and go. Well, I'm doing a coaching session here. Because what he does, he gets the ball. Foden makes a run. Boom, he's in. Take goal.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to use your drop. I can't affect the football here.
Yes.
I've got to drop off.
To stand up.
And by the way,
up.
and then I know runners are coming.
Yeah.
But then again, for Chelsea, it's so many games they've started the matches well.
Yes.
And today as well, they came here, 1-0 up, could have been 2-0 and should have been 2-0.
Yeah.
But then, as the game goes on, they kind of lose the initiative.
I think there was a statue with Chelsea that I think they've been ahead. I think in like the last 6 times they've been ahead in the game or started the game and gone ahead, they've ended up losing, I think, 4 of them. So is that, again, similar to what City have struggled a bit with this season?
Yeah.
It's management of the game, isn't it? And that little bit of know-how to see a game through.
Definitely. That's the big struggle with Chelsea. A bit, they've got young players, a bit unexperienced, so they need to get that right. I feel City's got a little bit more in them, a little bit more experience. They never panicked out there today. Yeah. Came back and won deservedly.
Yeah, but they had, like we said, Chelsea had legs, but Mamouche comes off, De Bruyne, experience, keeps the ball, boom, boom, boom. Let's wait till we get a chance for another goal. So Manchester City managed the game.
They did.
Pep Gvardiol managed the game today.
Yes.
And you could see they let Chelsea have the ball a lot more at 2-1.
Yeah, good.
They were sitting a bit, and then they went to counter-attack Chelsea. So
But also, Peter, that for City fans, I mean, even if we mentioned at the start of the show, you looked at PSG, couldn't really see the game through. I turned to my dad and said, "Gosh, I don't think I've seen that really this season at the Etihad when we've had to, even at 2-1, where we looked to City of old of controlling the possession, letting Chelsea have it a little bit, and that's a real positive that we've missed this season, I think."
I mentioned the 2 lads getting the debuts. John Stones come on as well. Huge. John Combs at the back.
yeah.
Quality, never got phased, any trouble, got in a position.
Yeah.
But certainly, that's more game time for John Stones, who I think is absolutely outstanding.
World class.
If when he's on the pitch, I'll tell you what, there ain't many better than him.
No.
So there's a lot of positives there for Man City, you know, and that certainly, as a result, I was a must-win for, like we said, either football club and Manchester City, like Tori said, they've deservedly got it.
We just mentioned Haaland, and I have to pick.
Oh, he's ready. By the way, we've just gone about his goals.
That's what we have to mention. I mean, there's another one here. So now Haaland has scored 81 goals in 89 Premier League games, which means he averages a goal every 91 minutes. I mean, he's here just probably getting ready for some interviews there. But the stats, we keep saying they can't get any worse or any more madder, but they do.
But that's the best record in the history. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What can you say?
46 appearances here, 42 goals. Behave yourself.
It's just
It's
ridiculous.
obscene. It's obscene. That is incredible.
And
incredible.
Sorry, go on.
No, you can't say that he's not good at this, he's not good at that, but he scored goals.
Yes.
And he win you games.
Correct.
Well, we were saying, maybe you look at Arsenal. They've not shying away from that. They need a goal scorer. We were saying, you've got Jackson, but maybe someone. They does seem to have that out-and-out number 9, guaranteed 20. They are hard to come by. I think football fans forget how difficult of a role it is to find and for someone to execute it, not just every other game, but week in and week out. That consistency is so difficult to find.
Yeah, no, that's what you're looking for in a striker. And I think every team in the world are looking for that striker who can score goals regularly. And you definitely got one here.
I've always, in my playing days and in my I've always wanted or played with big number 9s. If Bolton Wanderers, Frank Worthington.
Yeah.
Quinny.
Yeah.
I just think you're not going to play well in every game. But if you've got a focal point up there, tell you what, don't half get you out.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, I think Torre mentioned it, gives defenders problems.
Yeah. And I mean, we say his goal scoring, but I also have to mention, I thought his hold-up play, particularly in the second half today, the strength, the composure, and then the flick assist for Foden. So, again, to the argument that, can he hold up the ball? Well, it was on show there today as well, the other side of his game plan.
Oh, yeah, and he showed the strength as well to hold up the defender like that and then give the flick so Foden is through alone on goal. That was a great play.
There's a lot of pluses for Man City. Mamouche was desperate to get a goal. He was hungry. He was positive. Do you know what I saw in the second half? They got out down his side, Chelsea. He run back 40 yards and got a tackle, come out with the ball. Yeah. By the way, if you've got an attacker who's going to do that as well, you got a player.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, we could carry on about this, but we're going to move it on because I just wanted to get the thoughts from my guests. Obviously, Champions League is up next. On the bottom of your screen there, we welcome Club Bruges to the Etihad Stadium. Our new signings aren't available because we weren't able to register them for this round. Now, we are a point out of going for the qualification places. We know that a win would see us go through because Bruges we'd overtake. But that's not an easy game. I think they're unbeaten something around 18 games or something, Bruges. So it's going to be a difficult game. But you've got to say a must-win for City.
Yeah, well, you say a difficult game, but I think if City plays something near their best, and the performance today tells me that they will win that game. And yes, it's a very important game.
Yeah.
Of course, it would be strange to see them out of Champions League, but I'm quite confident that would be a win after what I saw today.
Yeah, it does seem to bode well, particularly on the back of the PSG result, Peter.
Yeah, very disappointing. The new signing's not eligible. John Stone's got game time.
Yeah.
So that's a massive plus. And if I'm honest, the atmosphere here today was fantastic. I think for the Bruges game, it'll be on fire.
Yeah.
And I think City will have enough.
Yeah.
I think they'll do it.
Lovely stuff. Well, there we go. We've heard it from our guests. Now, remember, we're going to do a little watch-along for that game as well. And remember, if you sign up to City Plus, it's where you can stream a load of our other games. We've got our under-18s or EDS Derby coming up soon as well to watch on there. And I'm going to be back with you for the Bruges game on Wednesday night, so make sure you tune in an hour and 15 before as we build up to all the action. I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure today.
I think I'll be here for the Bruges game.
Yeah,
not here, but...
You come here anytime you want. No, whenever I'm in, Peter, you come in this studio. So massive thank you to my guest in. Thank you to you for watching. And those with an eagle eye will go, Kel, what shirt are you wearing? I've not seen that before. Well, you wouldn't have, because it was designed by Edison and Rico Lewis. It is done with a Puma AI creator. They had it on today. This is probably going to be me bouncing around somewhere. But you can actually vote on what our third kit will be next season. There are 3 to choose from. They've all been created with AI. Here I am bouncing around with the young people before the game. But we'd love for you to cast your vote on our third kit. Just go to AIcreator.puma.com. big hand there from Spellman. AIgrades.puma.com. Cast your vote, and the winning kit will be our third kit. Right, we'll leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks again to our guests.
Good to see you.
We'll see you on Wednesday. Peter, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a lovely evening. Enjoy your weekend. Good night.
Night.